Hey, hi everybody. How you doing? I am back. I am back. It's the final hour of trading, the final day of the week. It is Friday, February 17th. It's the third Friday of the month. And that means most of the options trading, a whole bunch of option contracts close tonight because the third Friday of every month is the busiest option week every month from tradition, because when options trading started, it was the third Friday of every third month that options expired. Then it was the third Friday of every month that options expired. And then years later, it was weeklies and weekly options. But the third Friday is traditionally the big one. And that's today. Welcome all to the channel. It's nice to have you here. We're up 127 on the Dow Jones. It's green. But the S&P is down about 10 and NASDAQ is off about 66. So it's a mixed bag today. Oil still down $2. Pardon me, it's down about 3. Now it's down about 2. 76.49 on West Texas. Gold virtually unchanged, maybe up $1, and that's about what's going on out there. On our stocks that we follow, 23andMe is up 1.5 cents, 286.5. It's green. It took a while to get there. It didn't happen until only just a few minutes ago, I guess 12 minutes ago. We turned green on ME today to 286. The low was 274. We haven't had much movement today, 851,000. But I'm wondering if and when ME finishes this financing to raise this 150 million, and then what happens next. I'd like to see the stock go higher, but I don't know. Well, wait. GameStop, 21.98 right now, up 38 cents. This stock went green about, let me just pop that up here on my phone. It went green. Originally, it was green in the morning. Then it was red. Then it got green. Then it was red. But finally, it has stayed to the upside as of about 11:40 this morning. Just after that, it's been it's been up all day since then. It's not up a lot. It's the low 21.15, the high 22.06. We haven't even had a dollar swing today. Volume 2.1 million shares. So it's actually a miracle that the stock is up with only 2.1 traded. There's nothing going on, but it's a quiet day today. I guess I was expecting volatility. I really was. All these options. Bed Bath Beyond down 1 penny. ATIP is up 0.2 of a penny. Tesla 207.50 is now up 5.48. Tesla has broken up to the upside as of about an hour ago at about 2 in the afternoon. It hit 202.98, and now it's popped up almost $5 more. That's in the hour, and 178 million traded, and we're ahead 560 on the stock so far today. SoFi underway, but not a big one. We bottomed out at 651 today for a bit, and then around 2 o'clock, an hour ago, we started moving up. We're now at 662. We're still down 36 cents. 23 million traded. Nothing great, nothing crazy, nothing heavy. And we're slowly inching our way higher. We'll say, looking at the Dow, the chart of the Dow, it too has bounced up here. Here we are. This is our session today on the Dow Jones. Here's where we are right now, right over here. And we topped out here, bottomed out, and then came on. And so we've had a run up since about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So it's 2 hours into this run up. This is the high of the day, the range, and it looks okay. Can it influence the S&P and the NASDAQ, or will they win out and bring the Dow back? That's the question. Other stocks. Good stuff. Just got some. This is good stuff. Okay. My cousin just sent me a text, and he today had a hip operation, and this is his second one in 6 years. And that's a long story, but the good news, he's texting me. So he's out and he's underway. So I'm very pleased to see that. I have to interrupt the show for that. Good news. All right. I'll talk to him later. What else? Where are we here? Yeah, SoFi. Apple is trying to come back up. SoFi, like I say, it's 662. Still got a ways to go. Apple is down 128. Nothing serious. HPQ down 9. Xterra down 19. Google down 131. Moderna, it's off 680 at 165.45. We've got Cisco down 12 cents. Pfizer's been up pretty well since this morning. After the first hour, we're up 36 cents to 43.32. IBM just down 7 cents. Microsoft at 257, down 447. Rocket Lab is down 9.5, back to 487. The Matterport is at 361, up 4. Smart Rent had a bit of a run coming here. It was moving up back to the break even. It's down 3.5 right now. Down 3 right now. Hang on, down 3. But we were as low as 279 on Smart Rent. We're now 287, and we're definitely popping up right now, coming on. Aspire still down 2 cents at 106. Amazon down 110. Home Depot down 320. Netflix down a couple of bucks. Vanik Vectors down 280. Adobe down 819. Goldman down 72. Boeing down 97. Meta Platforms, Facebook is inched its way back to a gain of 16 cents. It was down to 169.78 this morning, just around 1 o'clock, I guess. And when the Dow began to move up, Meta started moving up with it, and it's now plus 24 cents. So we are seeing some stocks moving up here as of 1 o'clock and still powering higher. That's the story, and we'll see where we're at. Thank you all for popping in this afternoon and seeing us and sending your messages to us. I appreciate it. Thank you also for the thumbs ups you've been able to pop in so far today for the afternoon show, the last one of the week. Very much appreciate it. And we'll see how we close it out. Still up 103 on the Dow at the moment. We're going members only now on chat. Thank you, lurkers, and thank you those of you who in the last, well, I guess 24 hours, you have been asked, a number of you have been asked by YouTube, would you like to renew your membership to Uncle Bruce's channel, Stock Markets with Bruce? And a very high number of you, almost all, say, yeah, I'm here for another month. I'm going to hang out with this guy. I'm going to try to make some money in this market. And I thank you all for doing that. It's a wonderful thing. The memberships of this channel keep us on the air, and I thank you all very much. Those of you who are Gold Bagel members, thank you. Chillin' with Uncle Bruce members, thank you. And subscribers, followers, and those, if you're able to find a moment to hit the thumbs up button for us, please do. Help us get to 100 thumbs ups on this afternoon show. Thanks very much. Option writers, which most of you aren't, I gotta tell you, how stock option writers can retire early is the title of this afternoon show, and it is simple. I'm really excited that a high number of you who reach out to me and are here all the time, you are well on your way to retiring early. But it's not like you're going to go fishing and play around at golf and fall asleep on a lounger somewhere every day. What's happening here is people are retiring early, but what they're really doing is they're becoming self-employed, managing their own assets. They're becoming asset managers of their own money, full-time asset managers. Those of you who write options for a living here and will be writing options for a living, you're going to figure out what your world would be like if you were to suddenly win a lottery. When you win, if you win a lottery of 10 or 20, $30 million, your life completely changes because everyone around you treats you totally different and you're looked at differently. As an option writer, you don't become a millionaire overnight. You can become a millionaire being an option writer, but it's done in stages and you have time to adapt to it. But you, on the way to being a millionaire and beyond, you have to manage your assets. You have to stay on top of your investments. And that way you get used to managing the money you're managing. It's not like you wake up one morning and go, oh, wow, I had $7,000 last week and I got $30,000 this week. And then 2 weeks later, I got $150,000. It doesn't work that way. You manage your way up to larger figures and you can easily adapt to it and and get used to the new normal that you have. You're going to have what I would say a series of new normals, quite a number, a series of new normals. You're going to go from managing 30, $40,000 to managing 70, 80,000, or to managing 150 to 200,000 to managing 300, 350,000 to managing 500 to 600,000. This is what's going to happen as you build your option writing capabilities. You're going to bring in much larger premiums than you ever did before, but they just get a little larger and a little larger and a little larger every time you do these rollovers. And a year down the road, you'll look back and go, wow, a year ago I was doing option writing and I was bringing in $2,000, $3,000 when I would write options. And now here you're looking at it going, oh, wow, we're bringing in 16,000 or 14,000 or 28,000, whatever the numbers are. A couple of years down the road, you might be looking at 50, 70, 80,000 a rollover and just going, yeah, well, it's just a little larger all the time. I just keep going. You're going to live a different life, and you're going to reach a point in time where, again, depending how young you are or how old you are, there's going to come a point in time where you're going to realize if you start this early, doing this option writing, you're going to get to the point where the first event will be, oh, I have more money that I'm managing than I owe on that credit card. Or my wife and I are managing together more money now through our account than we owe on all of our debt except for the mortgage. All the debt, we could pay all the debt off right now, but the income coming in is flowing our way out of debt. Then the next stage is where you're rolling in the capital, and you've paid off your credit cards, you've paid off your other loans, and all you have left is your mortgage. And the mortgage is a very comfortable payment every month that you can easily handle. And then comes the time where you realize, holy cow, we are managing more money than we owe on our mortgage, actually. We're actually out of debt in a technical way. The house has a value. It's always had a value more than the mortgage, but now our account is worth more than the mortgage that we owe. That's a big one. And then the next one, of course, is when the mortgage is paid off. If it's paid off early, if that's what you do, there comes a point where, wow, between our house and our assets and our capital under administration, we got $1 million. We're worth $1 million. We're worth $1.5 million. But again, it's not like it happened in 15 minutes. It takes you grow into it, you build into that, and now you prudently keep building forward and forward and forward. For those of you who want to retire early, if you're in your 30s, or if you're really in your 40s and you've had kids, the kids are getting older, and it's coming up to college time in the next few years, that is the critical phase where you really want to be bringing in capital, because once you're empty nesters, the opportunity is there to perhaps start traveling and changing your daily routine at home, because obviously you're not running around to soccer practice and dance practice and gymnastics and get the kids swimming and all that stuff. They're on their own now, and it's you and the missus alone, and you're now looking at a different lifestyle. If you're in a position to be full-time administrators of your wealth, and you can do this from any location in the world, you start traveling. And of course, if you're in your 50s, and you can travel starting in your 50s rather than until you're in your 70s, you're going to be doing much more active traveling than 20 years later. Things change. Just like the fact that my cousin just got a new hip. His life is about to change again for the better. So there you go. This is what it's all about. How option writers can retire early is by writing stock options and bringing in income. And the number one thing you want to get doing is bring in as much income as you can, as quickly as you can, by writing as many options as possible. And if you're doing it under the poor man covered call routine, more power to you. You are in a position to, make the changes in your financial life that really take the heat off of your paycheck. So if you eliminate credit card debt and there are no payments required anymore, you get rid of a car payment, that payment isn't required anymore. You're now in effect only living on overheads. Only expenses you have are overhead expenses, rent or mortgage, and home insurance, meals insurance, life insurance, and car insurance, and what have you. But all the other payments have been made. You've just lowered your cost of living. That allows you more money to be thrown into your retirement fund. And the faster you get money into your retirement fund, the sooner you retire. Because if you need a certain level of money to be managed before you can retire, you want to get to that number as soon as humanly possible. And the power of compounding returns from option premiums is huge. And if you can get an extra 5 calls in your possession this month to write on going forward the next 5 to 10 years, as that compounds out, it really makes a difference. It is massive. You probably play the game from time to time, or you've maybe been involved in a math class. If you had any kind of a entrepreneurial teacher or professor that would say to you, well, what if you had $100 and you made 10% every month on that money? How much money would that be worth in 5 years? In 60 months, adding 10% and 10% and just compounding it, you'd be shocked at how fast that money grows. It's unbelievable. The compounding of interest on top of the interest just takes this $100 bill to a stratospheric number in no time. Well, we're trying to get you to do the same thing here by writing options and adding more option writing to your account as soon as possible. And if in the first 5 years that you become an option writer, you get over the nervousness of it, you become very adept at it, you become very rhythmic about it, very disciplined about it, you're going to take capital and really make it grow for you. And you will become eventually horrified at the thought of just trying to buy a stock and look for a quick run on a stock. You're just going to go, I don't do that. There's no need for me to do that. I am making so much money on my option writing strategy here that I'm just going to keep my head down and do this one thing again and again and again and again and really blow my number way up here sooner than later. Because when it gets to the point where you're within a year of retiring or two, you want to get to that level right now. Because the older you get, what you begin to find out is the older you get, the older your friends get and your relatives get all around you. And things shift. Things start to shift. You start hearing, did you hear about so-and-so, our old school buddy from blah, blah, blah? That guy had a heart attack at age 49. Or did you hear about so-and-so? She had cancer and she's going to be in treatment for 2 years. Or did you hear about... You're going to hear these stories of lives cut short or lives dramatically altered way too soon. And I'm trying to get you guys to the promised land of being fully retired and or self-employed so that you can enjoy life now the way you want it and not play this deadly game of, well, hopefully in 15 years we'll be to the point where we can begin traveling. There are people who hope for that and never get there. They 5 years short of the mark, they leave us, they pass away, whatever the issue is. You just never know when your time is up. And so you make the most of what you have while you have it, and you grow what you can while you can grow it. And right now, if you're an option writer, you absolutely know how powerful option writing can be for you. And you might as well take advantage of this growth curve right here. It's being handed to you on a silver platter. Grab it and run with it, because you don't know, and I don't know, and none of your relatives and friends and everyone else knows, how long are you able to do what it is you're doing. You fall down and hit your head one day and forget your name, game over. Become like Bruce Willis, and we get dementia in our lives way too early in our lives. We don't know. How do we know? We have to make the most of what we have while we have it. So welcome to the party, pal. I'm sure hopeful that many of you will be quickly able to retire in the not too distant future because of this, or be self-employed. Let's put it this way. Fantastic. Thank you for these thumbs ups. D.H. Ruda is here with number 39, Maria 41. So many others have already been here on this. Marcus, thanks. Yeah, what else is going on here? Thank you all. Thank you all. Uncle Bruce, I will be buying 31 more deep in the money calls about to be. I'm going to need another one-on-one. There we are. Credit Savage, I am number 50 on your thumbs up meter, buddy. You're halfway home. Zed, it does not happen in 50 minutes. You will feel it coming in a few weeks, and then reality will hit in a few months. Thank you, Uncle B. It's a slow grow, says Michael. Credit Savage, not true, Uncle B. I am up to my ears in debt, but full disclosure, I took out loans against my credit at 0% APR until December. Bought stock, which I'm writing cover calls against. I'm already paid 30% off. Not bad at all. That's beautiful job. H. Gregory, 46. Thumbs up. Chris Evers, I'm a sucker for money they're handing out for nothing. H. Gregory, Uncle Bros. Swear, I can't wait to retire in my early 30s, late 20s, travel around the world, find a wife, and settle somewhere to raise some kids while staying at home only. Life will be good in 5 years. I'm actually only to the point where friends of me suddenly have a kid and all the plans have been changed. Oh, don't I know that? I remember that when I was younger. I remember my year being 16, 17, 18, 19. I remember kids at school that I knew. This is high school, where all of a sudden the girlfriend got pregnant and they got married and they had a kid, and like their life is totally off the charts. I mean, I thought, oh my God, you're domesticated now. You're the guy's got to work full time. She's with the kid, and mom is helping, and dad's helping, and grandma's helping. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is not for me. I do not want that at all. I want to enjoy my 19 and 20th year, 21st year, 23. I want to do some traveling and whatever. And then finding Jennifer at age 21, the two of us, we didn't have our little one until we were 32. So we did some traveling, and we were able to enjoy some life. But we noticed all of our friends in our late teens and then our early 20s who were having kids, their lives were completely different. It was like a switch went off, and it happened to us when Jennifer Jr. showed up. Our lives completely changed. Quite amazingly. Yeah, I understand. Zed, Uncle Bruce, did you get my donation at the end of the morning show? I saw it. Oh, thank you for mentioning. Yes, thank you for mentioning this, because I had signed off and I said my goodbyes, and I was just kind of shutting down some of the tabs, and I looked at the chat bar and I saw your what was it, a $4 donation? It popped in. Thank you for that. Right at the end of the show, I obviously it was too late for me to mention it. Thank you, and for reminding me. Aurora, number 58, Mama Babe. I did not see Raquel Welch's death coming. They said she had a brief illness. She looked good last time I saw her publicly. She's 82 years of age. Yeah, 82. Bobby, I'm pulling up to that station. My first roommate just had triple bypass at age 42. Oh my God, that's scary. Michael, geez, 42 is young. Bobby, smoker, I got about 150 pounds of fat alone on him. Oh my gosh. Sean, number 61, thank you so much for the thumbs ups, you guys. Bama Baby, yep, the biggest financial mistake people make are marrying too soon and having children before they even have financial stability or the maturity. Oh my God, it's incredible. Lucky, I know most of them above 20 that had a kid, but in high school, occasionally I've heard from it. Somehow shocking how quickly everything has to be changed. Yeah, I remember those days. My best friend, my best pal in high school that I hung out with, he and I were really close pals for about 3 years in our high school years. He and I met these twin sisters. And the four of us were an item for about a week and a half. And then the twin sister, the one gal and myself, it just didn't work out. We just weren't of the same ilk. But my buddy, my best pal, and the other twin sister, they were hot and heavy. And within 6 months or 8 months, guess what? Someone's expecting. And we were 21 at the time, or was it? No, wait a minute now. Hold on. I gotta get my timing back here. I think I was about 19, and he was 20. He's 1 year older than I am. And my relationship with this sister lasted less than 2 weeks. It just didn't work out. And then my pal and this gal, they were together for about a year or so, and then she was expecting, and so they got married. I was best man. I was the best man to the gal and both my buddy and his gal. And 8 months after the marriage, something showed up. And his life completely changed. Now, while that happened, just as that was going on, I bet you within a month or two after I met this gal, and then we fell apart. I met Jennifer, and that's how the timing came out. And then I met this gal Jennifer that just changed everything. And so Jen and I were at the wedding together, and I was best man. And I was saying to her, I don't want to have kids right now, and she said, me either. I don't want a child right now. So Jen and I were on the same page, and but my buddy, oh, he was in just in love. This is it. It's all going to be great, and off they went, and uh, that was that. I won't go any further into that story. I'll leave it at that. But Jen and I, we ended up moving to Calgary in Alberta, and it wasn't until we were 32, it was 11, 12 years after we got together, that somebody showed up. And what can I say? There you have it. Let's see. What else is going on? Credit service. I agree, Uncle Bruce. My wife and I traveled and had our fun in different continents before having kids. Everything changes and time becomes short and hurried. However, our kids are lovely and they're worth it. Zach, twins. Yeah, I thought for sure the four of us would get along great. I thought my buddy and I are best pals. There are these two gals. I thought it would work. It didn't work. I couldn't understand it. The one twin liked him, and the other twin and I just didn't get along. Oh well, it's the way it is. Curtis Evans met my wife at 24 and traveled. Got to know one another, lived life for 11 years until our first child. By then, I was established, and she had a career. Now, when kids drive us crazy, we reminisce. Yes, indeed. Brian, number 70. I know that when Jen and I had our little one, and the only one we had, we were much more mature at 32 than we would have been at 18 or 19 or 20 or 21. And so, the way we would interact with her was completely different than the way our friends interacted with their children a decade before, obviously. And so our youngster was quite used to hanging out with adults and talking to adults in an adult way. And we would always get compliments about just how well behaved she is and just how articulate she is and her use of language. And of course, Jennifer and Jennifer Jr., they read all the time. They were readers. They read books and stories. And what does my little darling do now for a living? She's a copywriter, makes big money writing. Yeah. Pays to teach those kids to read and write. The reading and the writing is a good thing. Sean and Wendy, Bama Babe, yes, that happens. But the other side is people get older and they regret not having kids. They had no grads or they never had kids level. You cannot have it both ways all the time. I'm with you. Yep. But I'm happy we had just the one. I'm happy with that. Brian, wow, just back from lunch. Someone does not want GameStop above $22, $21.91 right now. Splatter, good decision with Jen, but twins, yeah, fun has to be enjoyed in little steps. Otherwise, it goes quickly wrong. Alex, my wife and I traveled in Europe, Africa, North America before we had kids. Then we eloped in Australia. My mom was not happy. Bama Babe. Sean and Winnie, for sure, this has to be a balance found here. Deuce Caboose, will someone hold me? I'm number 73. Splatter, probably it was destiny that the other twin was with her mind somewhere else. Anyway, it's the way it was. I met the twin about, oh gosh, I was in my parents' hometown. Jen and I were there, and I don't know how, I don't know, I was somewhere downtown. I bumped into her, saw her. I said, oh, how you doing? How you doing? It was great. And I'm not sure if she was married or not, but I was happy with Jen. And it was all, she said, yeah, I know you and Jennifer got together and you were at the wedding and for my sister and everything. And I'm really happy for you. And it's great. And, that was it. That's last time I saw her. I have no idea whatever happened to her. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. Sean and Wendy, Bama Babe, having all our kids grown now, I meet people with no kids or no graduations, and they have regrets. Now I'm glad for our kids, and we have our grads, and they were free. Flint Creek. I did a thing. I moved SoFi stock to my TD and sold some Covered calls way, way out. I will be catching up on my classes soon. I brought in nearly $1,000. Maria, so many of my friends were married at 22. I was so different at 30 than 22. Personal goals are important to be happy within a relationship. There you go. Yeah, yeah. We never regretted waiting, and Jennifer Jr. was not planned. It was a surprise because I was happy. I was determined not to have kids. I didn't want children. Jen was kind of going with it, and then when the blessed event took place, what can I say? Here we go, and so we just adapted to the new normal and moved on. And she was Jen Jr. was 10, 11 years old. And that's when we moved to the Cayman Islands. So, I mean, we left Canada with the kid and traveled down there. And then we ended up here in the desert when she was 13 or so, 14, and lived here until university time in Canada. And so it didn't stop us from traveling, but we were 32 plus to do it as opposed to 22. That would we have never have left town at age 22 with a newborn or an 11-year-old or anything like that. I mean, if we'd have had her at 18, I could not imagine us leaving Canada at age 25, 27 to travel somewhere. I could not have imagined it. But at the age of we were now 42, 43 when we moved to the Cayman Islands. That was different. Very, very different. Anyway, there you go. Bless you, Lorraine, says Maria. Let's go. What else? Lorraine, Uncle Bruce, I had 3 boys. I got pregnant at 18, then the second one at 25. He was autistic. I don't have to tell you the rest of the story. He passed away 8 years ago. My goodness. A credit sandwich. If we would have had our kids way earlier, we would have not be taking Hawaii vacations or yearly, and definitely not staying at the Waldorf or the Four Seasons when traveling makes a big difference. Maria says, bless you, Lorraine. Splair, how small the world sometimes can be when you meet suddenly someone after a bunch of years. Alex, Lorraine, so sorry to hear that. Chris Savage, Lorraine, very sorry to hear that. Truly. Bama, Babe, Sean, and Wendy, so many of my friends married young and ended up divorced because they could not handle the financial stress. Just need a little financial stability or skill, in my humble opinion. Plus, you had to mature out. There's so many people who got together as teenagers and they thought, this is it. This is the one. It's going to be great for 50 years. And they're still developing as people. They're still evolving as people. When Jen and I got together, we were 21. And we didn't know. We let's just go with the flow. And we kind of just went year after year and after year and after year. Here we are. But yeah, a lot of people come and go in people's lives, right? Maria, I so agree, Bama, Babe. I so agree. Anyway, we're here, we're alive, we're well, and Jen Jr. is doing great. And we're just moving along. We're up 86 on the Dow by the by. We're down 16 on S&P. We're down 93 on NASDAQ. I got 23 and me up half a penny here. GameStop up 27 cents. We have ATIP at 41.4 up a tenth of a penny. Tesla's at 205.71 up 367. SoFi's down 39 to 660. Apple down 165. HBQ down 13. Cyxtera down 21. Google down 138. Moderna down 663. Cisco down 12. Pfizer up 40. IBM off 23. Microsoft down 485. Rocket Lab down 8.4. Matterport up 2.5. SmartRent up down 4.5. And Spire down 0.5. Amazon down 132, Home Depot down 376, Netflix down $3, Vatic down 360, Adobe down 940, Goldman down 62, Boeing down 146. So option expiry day has a lot of red on it, but yet the Dow is showing a 91-point gain. So there you go. Most of these prices are negative. That's the story. Let's see here. Bama Babe is saying to Lorraine, sorry for your loss. Lost mine with a sudden heart attack. Never been sick. He was 57.8. He was 57. That was 8 years ago as well. Credit Savage. Algebras looks like it looks like Putin's top war official just plunged 160 feet to her death from her high-rise building. It's so odd how many of these top Putin people And oligarchs have this terrible habit of falling off of balconies in hospitals and apartment buildings and hotels. It's really weird. It's really strange. Hawkeye, I am number 79 on the thumbs up meter. Thank you all for being here. Bama Babe, got it. So sorry to hear that. And we must keep moving forward. Must we? We must, yes. Looks like we got a 123 gain on the Dow. It's getting better, but the rest of the market just doesn't want to kind of go along with it. Oil down 207 right now, and that's where it is. Alex, it's been a quiet week on the markets, hasn't it? One thing I love about covered calls is that we're making money even when nothing happens. Exactly. Lorraine, thank you all. My son had a wonderful, caring teachers. I wanted to give back to society, so I became a special ed teacher myself. Beautiful. Beautiful thing. Yeah, we consider ourselves very fortunate. Jennifer and I were very lucky, and we're very happy with how things worked out. Our little one just at the moment no plans for children. She's 34. She's 34. I don't know if I'm going to ever be a granddad. It doesn't look like it. But you know what? She's happy and has wonderful friends and just loves life. And I couldn't be happier. I could not be happier. Her health and happiness is all I care about. And she's healthy and she's happy. There you go. Flint Creek. Sorry, I just hopped on. Sorry for your loss, Wing Commander. I'm number 80 on the thumbs up meter. I've been listening for half an hour before releasing. I forgot to do the thing because someone smacked me real good. Thank you for being here. Brian, Lorraine, my son might be on the spectrum. We aren't sure yet because of his ADHD. He is definitely unique and energetic. Splair, yeah, I was wondering today, especially already myself. The first time I was reading it was out of a hospital. Now I think I read some article, but it is every week month someone else flying there. I'm not sure what this means. Brian, only 4 years old. I'll find out. Boys mature in different ways than girls. That is for sure. Absolutely for sure. My daughter as a youngster, I really trained her to be an observer of people. It's what my dad did with me, and I did that with her. And I would always ask her, what happens at school today? What's the best thing to happen to you today? What's the worst thing? What was the most interesting thing? I remember one day she came home. It was like grade 3, and she said, I said, what, anything interesting happened at school today? She says, yes, something really interesting happened today, Dad. I'd never seen this before. I said, oh, what was that? Well, we have a new student. We have a new student in class. I said, oh, really? And what can you tell us about him? Well, he's a boy, and he's a boy from Croatia, from the former Yugoslavia. I said, oh, wow, that's interesting. She says, yeah, apparently he was in a war zone over there, and he's quite traumatized by it. And I said, I can imagine he would be. I said, well, what was the thing that happened today that you never seen before? He came into the class, and we welcomed him to the class, and the teacher showed him where he can sit. We have a desk for you, and so he sat down, and we were doing a class, and then we had to get up to the blackboard and write something down, and we were like in a little assignment thing, and then it was time to sit down again, and he was still writing something on the blackboard, and he said, the teacher asked him, oh, please have a seat, join the class. And he said, no, thanks. I'll just stand here and do what I want. And she couldn't believe it. She's like, he said no to the teacher. And I said, what happened then? She said, well, the teacher kind of was a bit taken aback by that, but she was very calm and very kind. And she said, it's time for us to now, do this. And, it'd be nice if you could sit down with us and we'll continue on. And he was defiant. He just put up his, well, I'm not doing that. And so she had to call the principal in. And they went out for a chat. The the teacher and the student and the principal went out for a chat, and the teacher came back 5 minutes later and kind of said that the boy might be back tomorrow. So she said she'd never seen defiance like that before. It was just a shock. And I said, "What do you think that's from?" And she said, "I think it's from the war. I think he has seen stuff that we've never seen, and it's really in him." I said, "Yeah, that's probably what it is." And this is from a 9-year-old. This is an 8, 9-year-old who's telling me this. It was really something to watch her analyze at that age already just what was going on. I said, "Well, would you ever say no to the teacher?" "Oh, no. Are you kidding me? Oh, never. Oh, no." Bama Babe is saying, "Welcome, Smokey, because Smokey is a new member of this channel." How you doing? Thank you, Smokey, for joining us. Gold Bagel level member. Thank you, Smokey, for popping in here, joining this familia. Great to have you here. Welcome to the gang, folks. So we'll definitely welcome you in. There's Bama Babe. Alex Bruce, I sent you a story earlier about Bao Dan, Chinese tech billionaire who has disappeared. No one knows where he is. How very strange in the surveillance state. Yes, and we mentioned that. I did mention that this morning. I know I probably mentioned it, I guess, in my pre-show. Maybe I didn't mention it in my morning show, but thank you, Alex, for that. Isn't that amazing? Spirit, I mean, the Russian Putin friends that fly through the windows. It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, they all think they're Superman. Mirko, welcome to the gang, Smokey. Oscar Davila, number 85, thumbs ups. That guy is here saying, "Don't worry, Uncle Bruce, in a couple of years, we'll all call you Pop Bruce." Thank you for the donation. Larry, hi, everybody. I am number 85 on the thumbs up meter. We have 19 minutes to go before we close. Smokey is saying, "Oh, thank you, everybody. I'm happy to be here." Fantastic. Samuel, number 88. Samuel, Uncle Bruce for president. Richard, welcome, Smokey, to the gang. Smokey and the gang. Welcome, Smokey, to the gang. I'm glad you're here. And any and all followers are welcome to join us. The more, the merrier, especially Gold Bagel members. This is fantastic. The Gold Bagel membership club is growing, and I'm very pleased about it. Very excited about that. Welcome all to the party, you guys. Yes, the little ones. It's amazing how they emulate you. They imitate you. They are like sponges. They absorb, and then they're like sounding boards, and they start shooting back stuff at you, and you're going, "Whoa, where did that come from?" "Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, that's right. They heard me." That's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, welcome, Smokey, from Richard and Maria. Fantastic. Great to have you. Great to have you here. Indeed, folks, welcome to the party. We're still showing a gain on the Dow, but losses everywhere else. The Dow was as high as 120 something. It's now up 107. GameStop is holding at 21.97, up 37 cents. We've got Tesla at 206.37, up 433, with a high today of 208.29. We're not really going anywhere today on these stocks, it looks like. We're still down 38 on SoFi. No real mega recovery yet on that. Apple down 157. HBQ at 30.18, down a dime. We're down 22 on Sextera. Google down 125. Moderna down 650 at 165.74. And that's what I got right now on this market. It does not seem to be a major deal or day today. Oil being down 215. Yep, that's significant, but that's it so far. Lorraine, these children are special. Now they have all sorts of programs. Last summer I had an autistic student who was very, very intelligent. He plays the piano, and he was in college already. Wow, Splair. I think my first comment went lost. The Matterport earnings directly on Tuesday after the market classes. I have good feelings on that. Matterport, at least this week, was consolidating. I sure hope it pops on Tuesday. We'll wait around for that. We'll be here for the after hours on Matterport and see what they say. Sure hope we get a good pop there. That would be nice. We do know we have earnings coming out from a number of our faves next little while. Matterport ATIP on Feb 24. That's a week from now, and then Feb 28 Rocket Lab. So that's 11 days from now. I guess the next week, Monday, and then March 8th, Smart Rent. So yeah, they're all coming out, and sure hoping great things. I know in March also GameStop will release, so we'll wait for that. Obviously, see what's going on. Joe K, late to the party. I'm number 99. Holy Tesla turnaround today. Nice. It's turnaround, but I mean, it's not like it's going to the moon or anything. It's all right. We're happy. I guess we're happy. 206. It's up $4. Okay. Spare. Okay, then I'm right. It'll be in the other after hours because so far it's the last time suddenly in the pre-market. I think Matterport is after hours. I think it is. At least I thought. I was led to believe it's after the bell for Matterport. It usually is, isn't it? Usually Matterport is after the bell. Anyway, we'll see what's going on. Okay, 88-point gain for the Dow. Now we're under 100 on the Dow. So we are backing off. The NASDAQ is now down 92.78%. S&P is down 17.5.43, but the Dow is up a quarter of a percentage point, but slipping now. Okay. That's it. Joe K, don't burst my bubble, Uncle Bruce. I'm late to the party. What can I say? Samuel, I bought more SoFi today, and I'm waiting patiently for it to pop. So load up and continue, as Uncle B says. It's going to make us all richer. That's what I'm thinking. Yep. Pick it up and put it away, and just wait for your moment. It will come, and it'll be forever. You'll be writing for years and years and years options if you choose to, and SoFi will. For a number of you on this channel, if you stick around long enough, SoFi is likely going to be your income generator and retirement maker, depending on the options premiums you take in. I can sense it coming. It's just a matter of the company just doing their thing, growing every day for years and years and years and years. They've got the plan. They've got the product, and they'll be turning a profit in no time. Just stick around. Splitter, I think SoFi was in the pre-market because last year, February, the earnings were announced, and earlier through the analysts that received somehow the data. Okay, maybe that was it. Thank you all for being with me today. If any of you are interested in a one-on-one, let me know. Send me an email, and I will try to get you set up for a session for this Sunday if you'd like to have one. Thank you for the 102 thumbs ups today, everybody. Absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to have already 102 thumbs ups. 13 minutes to go on today's session as we wait it out and watch for the final closing numbers to come through. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here with us. Fantastic. I was just thinking, just before we went on the show, but before this show started, I was watching a video on YouTube. I had seen a video about the Beatles, about Ringo Starr and his drumming technique, as explained by a drummer, which I find fascinating. And I then saw another video that was available to watch. It was a video where Ringo was a guest on the Phil Donahue show in 1995. This is 28 years ago. And I hadn't seen that. I had not seen that before. And so I was watching that, and I had to pause it before the show started. And heard some things Ringo talking about that I hadn't heard before, or if I heard it, I'd forgotten it. And I caught another video last night. It was George Harrison's sister, I believe older sister, if I'm not mistaken, who happened to be living in the United States. I think she was living in Milwaukee or something like that in 1963. Just before the Beatles broke out. She was in Wisconsin. And she had written a book. This video was about 10 years ago. And she was writing about her relationship to her brother and the Beatles, and was talking about stories of the Beatles from her perspective, which, we would never have heard until obviously now that relatives are writing fascinating stories about how she tried to help Brian Epstein promote the Beatles in the US. She wrote letters back to Brian letting him know, here's how the music business works in this country. It's completely different than England. you can't just be a number one record easily over here in the US, or all these labels, and you need a major label to push you. And fascinating stuff. I know that the Beatles came to the United States in 1964, but George Harrison came to the United States in 1963 to visit his sister. And he didn't quite have the longish hair that he had when he arrived in 64. It was a bit shorter, and he was totally unknown because the Beatles were a non-factor in that at that time in 63. But he spent, I think, a week or so with her in I think it was Milwaukee. I could be wrong for the actual location, but I found that fascinating that he had come over just as a tourist to visit his sister, and then the next year in February, here he comes with the with his pals, the band, as the number one thing in the world. Unbelievable. I just love Beatles memorabilia, love Beatles stories. I'm a huge Beatles fan. As a young guy, excuse me, as a you know, the band broke out when I was about 9 years of age, and as I became a teenager, I wanted to collect all the Beatle albums, and so I started saving my pennies. And whenever a Beatle album went on sale at our local record store in Canada, it's called Sam the Record Man. Now, it used to be the big chain in Canada, Sam the Record Man. Whenever a Beatle album went on sale, I'd pick one up and add it to my collection. And I decided I would get all of them. And it took me about 3 years, but I eventually had all the Beatle albums in my collection, and still have them. Of course, never give them up. But yeah, love that stuff, and love seeing stories of the Beatles from them themselves as they grew out of it, as they matured and aged out. It's just fascinating to hear that, to hear the story of what it was like being one of these guys. Anyway, there you have it. Thank you all for letting me talk to you about that. Nice to have you here. And welcome, Big E, for the neat emoji. 8 minutes to go, and neat. We're done on the week. Up 124 on the Dow, a little recovery again, but nothing incredible. That is the story at the moment. Down 13 on S&P, down 74 on NASDAQ. And there you have it. What else? Yeah, you must visit Liverpool next time you visit Europe. It's a great city with loads to do for Beatles fans. It is a plan. I also want to go back to London to do a couple of Beatles tours there as well. And I was hoping last year to see a few Beatles locations, but it couldn't be done because of Jennifer's absolutely deteriorating hip condition and sore knee. There was no way. And so we were really grounded. But this year, maybe we travel. Next year, I'm crossing my fingers that we can get this done, because I definitely want to do that. Nick, you can go to Paul and John's childhood homes. I've seen Paul's childhood home on a video where he and what's that host where they sing in the car together? I can't remember that gentleman's name, but he'll call the star up, say, "Hey, listen, can you help me? I need directions on how to get to a place. Can you? I can give you a ride." And he picks up Paul McCartney, and they're singing songs together in the car. They went to that childhood home, and it was the first time I think Paul had seen it in decades, and it's now a museum. It's now open to the public. And he was walking around the house going, "Oh yeah, I remember this. This is where the piano used to be." And he would talk about the bathroom. He said the bathroom was the best room in the house to play the guitar in because of the acoustics of the bathroom. That was amazing. James Corbin, thank you, Cindy. Yes, James Corbin. There's a video of Paul McCartney and James Corbin in the car, and I think it's had 70 million views. Like, it's a huge number of views, massive on YouTube, and I loved it. I just loved it. Sean and Wendy, God's amazing. Uncle Bruce, you have not only taught us about stocks and options between this channel and Discord, you have made us all family. You should be proud. More children than you and AJ could ever have had. There you go. I got one heck of a family, is right. That is pretty cool. Thank you for those kind words. Very nice. 21.98 on GameStop. Can't get through 22. You are correct. 22.07 was the high, and we're just sitting here just under 22 a share with 6 minutes to go on our session. Up 103 on the Dow, down 14 on S&P, down 78 on Nasdaq. There it is. That's the story. Paul is my favorite Beatles, says Nick H. Joe K. I did the Beatles tour in a private cab in Liverpool, and the rock star tour of London, worth every gong dang penny. Uncle Bruce, there you go. I had seen a video of a YouTuber who took a cab tour of Beatles spots, and it looked really great. It looked really cool. They went to where Ringo once owned an apartment that eventually got leased to Jimi Hendrix, and the park where the Beatles took photos for. I'm not sure which album. Might have been Abbey Road. It might have been another one. The train station where they filmed A Hard Day's Night that they were running through. All kinds of neat sights. There was an alley. There was a street with a very narrow street and a sidewalk where they were running away from fans in A Hard Day's Night. Still looks exactly like the movie. It's amazing. And then, of course, to Savile Row, where the Beatles played their last concert on the roof, the last time they performed live. And that building, pretty cool. Coyote, people who wrote $22 that expire in 5 minutes are sweating bullets on those contracts. The stock's at $22 on the nose right now. Yes, on GameStop. 4 minutes to go. Deep value. I'm number 107. Zach, Paul's okay. What about Charlie, the fifth Beatle? Charlie, the fifth Beatle? What about the piano player, Billy Preston, the fifth Beatle? Sell my house fast. I do have one contract written for a $22 strike. I'm sure that's what's keeping the price below my strike. $21.98, right at the wire, right there. We are down to 4 minutes to go, and we're at $21.98 on GameStop right now. Of course, my call doesn't expire until September. Alex, Paul is great. I've heard so many positive stories about him. Mind you, pretty hard to dislike any of those guys. Zach Manson, Chuck Manson. Okay. Brian, I hope GameStop closes about 22. Lots of calls that would like to be in the money. The thing that amazes me is that Paul still touring at age 80, 81. Ringo wants to keep touring at age 80, 81. These two guys have outlived so many other rockers out there. And yet you would think that the four lads, that they wouldn't have made it past their 30s or 40s with what the rumors were of their lifestyles. But in reality, they became family men when they retired from the Beatles. They started having kids, and they were not going to, disappear into the ether with drugs and what have you. Truly amazing. Although Ringo does admit in the interview he had to go to a detox in the I think it was in the 80s. And Phil Donahue said, "How long were you in?" He said, 5 weeks. He said, "Well, was the first week the hardest?" He says, "I don't remember the first week." He said, "The first week I was there, I don't remember it. I was in a meeting in a round table, and they said, 'Oh, how many were here last week?' Were here last week." And I'm looking around, and someone said, "You were here last week." And he goes, "I don't remember." He said, "I only remember the second week and beyond, not the first week." Amazing. Anyway, there you go, Brian. I don't think my cover call will sell as the stock is flat. Coyote, Brian, been staunch. It's been such a dry week. Coyote, how the hell is Keith Richards still alive? Drugs. He's pickled. It's an amazing thing. Some guys have this incredible ability to just keep on going, and others are so fragile. It's amazing. Splair, I think I'm ready for Tuesday and Wednesday to relax with MTTR. Zach, we're down to 2 minutes. Every time you smoke a cigarette, God takes 5 minutes of your life and gives them to Keith. Mirko, so Uncle Bruce, to beat the Beatles, you have to keep this show on at least until you are 80, 81. By then, most of the former SPACs would have made us rich. There you go. And you folks will be so rich that you'll have people watching the show for you to tell you what I said. In a little recap, Coyote Zach G. Coyote says, "Alabama, sell my house," laughing out loud. There you go. We got a minute left, kids. 1 minute. Oh my gosh. Paul was photographed recently on a train in the UK on his own, no entourage with him. Seems very humble. Yeah, he does travel by himself. It's amazing. Yeah, yeah. Oh boy, people ask me who would you love to meet. Either one of them or both of them, Ringo and Paul. My God, oh my goodness, that would be something. Coyote, 21.99 to 22 is the bid ask on GameStop right now with a minute to go, and I think Larry has rung the bells and we're done for the day. $22. I see a trade here happening. 21.99. Everybody have a relaxed weekend. Says Splair Coyote. 21.99 final, right at the line. It wouldn't go over. And there you are. That is a story. It looks like a 128 gain for the Dow. 23andMe up 2 cents. GameStop up 40 at 22 even. Bed Bath Beyond 180 and a half up a half a penny. ATIP 41 and a half up 2/10 of a penny. Tesla 208.14 up 610. SoFi down 36 cents to 660, make it 39 to 660. Apple down 144. HBQ down 6. Sixterra right at 250, down 23 cents. Google 94.69, down a buck 9. Moderna down 601 to 166.30. Cisco 50.77, down 22. Pfizer up 26 cents. IBM up 3 cents, 135.03. Microsoft 409, a down dip today. Rocket Lab down 6. Matterport up 3. SmartRent unchanged. Spire down 1/10 of a penny. Interesting to see Matterport gaining on the end of the day here. Matterport from about 130 today went from 353 to close at 360. Not a great big move, but on the chart, closing towards the high, or at least trying to. Interesting. We'll see how it works out on Tuesday when we're back in business. Time will tell, everybody. Never a dull moment out there. Looks like a 130 gain on the Dow. 130. Pardon me. GameStop at 22 even. And Tesla 208.31. There you have it. GameStop is down 16 in the after hours, 21.84. ATIP at 40.9. What can I say? Man, oh man, my cousin just wrote back here. Things looking pretty good. Just went for a short walk with the physio and it worked fine. Might be quicker than I expected. Primary worry is that I don't go through the infection cycle like last time. And that's the thing. He had an infection last time, and we're hoping he doesn't get one this time. Unbelievable. My cousin got a new hip today, and he's up and walking already with a physiotherapist, just like Auntie Jen. You get enough medication, you can do anything. Wow, unbelievable. Coyote, the 22-hour riders could have just bought back for $1 and saved themselves a lot of stress on Friday. For me, it's time for Hogwarts, says Splair. Aurora, have a great long weekend, Uncle Bruce and everybody. Michael, how is that game going? Have a great weekend, all from Michael. Mirko, have a nice long weekend, everybody. See you all Tuesday. Splair, Professor Garlic has a new spell for me. Michael H. So yeah, sounds great. Sounds great. It's beyond me. Thank you, folks, for being here all week long, and I hope you enjoyed the week. It was a very enjoyable week with all of you. We'll find out on Tuesday what we got going on. I'll get a couple of days of rest in. I've got a session on Sunday, a one-on-one. Looking forward to that. If any of you would like a one-on-one, you just let me know. Otherwise, I will see you on Tuesday morning. Right off the get-go as we start the ball rolling for next week. Looking forward to some earnings starting to come out for some of our former SPACs. We'll look forward to those and get ready the next few weeks on that and just see how this market treats everybody. And hopefully all of you will get much, much richer next week on this because of this option writing. Thank you. Sean, Wendy, we have missed it earlier, but are you off Monday? Yep, we're off Monday. Markets are closed. Joe, Mirko, you too at Tesla Weekly, still making me happy. Coyote, have a good weekend all. I think I hate 3-day weekends now. Joe K, happy weekend, everybody. Sell my house fast. Let my birthday celebrations begin. Way to go there. John Anderson, thanks, everybody. Mirko, Coyote, exactly how I'm feeling. Alex, have a great weekend, everybody. Tons of sleep. Soccer match and some on the menu for me. Way to go, everybody. You guys take care and enjoy. and be well. Enjoy the day off, Bruce. I will try. I kind of feel bad if the week only has 4 days. Larry, sell my house fast. I hope it warms up for your birthday. It was a nice, and then out of nowhere, temperatures dropped today. Spare, yeah, enjoy the break, Bagel Gang. I'll see you Tuesday. Bama, babe, it's time to go to the lounge. Have a good weekend, man. Do number 5, 111 thumbs ups. Thank you. Joe K. Neat, 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 neat. Alex, remember shrinkage. Don't forget, Mandu. Neat, 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 neat. There you go, kids. We did get 113 thumbs ups, everybody. Thank you so much for this. So appreciated. Here are the knee emojis. Neat, 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 neat. Have a great weekend, all. Thanks so much, and we'll catch you first thing Tuesday morning as we get back at it. Splair, Alex, thank you. Larry Titus, thanks, buddy. Yeah, 70 Fahrenheit to 38 Fahrenheit in one day. It cooled off. Mirko, neat, 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 neat. There they come. There they are. Jim Stevens, sell my house fast. Happy birthday. My birthday is Wednesday. I'll be spending a weekend myself as well. Sell my house fast, Upper Marlboro. Neat, 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 neat. Smokey, neat, 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 neat. Find the emojis, Smokey. They'll be below you, below the chat. You should see a little, a couple of emojis, little buttons there. You can push one of those and find the emojis. You can hit the knee emoji and join us. Absolutely. I thought we loved long weekends, extra day for depreciation. Well, there is that. MTR week, and then after that, Rocket Lab week. That's right, Splair. Neat, neat, neat. Larry Titus. Neat, 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 neat. Thanks, Jim Stevens. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight and today and joining us. Appreciate it. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Jen and I are going to head for the pool, and we're going to get her working her hip even further and making it better. And I'm heading for the spa to get all loosened up. Thank you, everybody. Take care. We'll see you on Tuesday. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.